Hey there, everyone. So I am sitting in my car. I was going to go to work, but they called off. And I wanted to give just a little bit of a deeper thought into the Actman situation because it really does piss me off. And I figured, why not look at my rainy, foggy windshield while talking about this stuff? Actman has just completely lost any credibility with any YouTuber that has even an ounce of a moral compass. Because if you are somebody who doesn't ask permission to drop the DMs, but just says, I'm doing it, no questions asked, that's a scummy thing to do. That is scumbag behavior. And we can take the whole Starfield situation out of the equation. Take that out. It doesn't matter about Az. Does not matter about his rant. Doesn't matter about Ackman talking about his rant. No, that does not matter anymore. What matters is him leaking the DMs of Mahler. And not only that, completely outing Mahler as the third party. Like, how can people be this stupid? And then you have idiots defending him, saying that he had to do it to defend himself. Really? He could have. Okay, let's take this from Az's perspective. Okay, no, not Az's. Atman's perspective. Leak the private messages, sure. I personally don't agree with it, but sure. But you could not omit the person who was the third party at the very least. You couldn't even do that. Are you freaking kidding me? What the heck is wrong with you, man? Like, what in the world is wrong with you? You know, I need a bigger screen. Scumbag behavior. And if you're somebody who defends scumbag behavior, that's just disgusting. How anybody can look at this from an objective perspective, whether you agree with Actman's position on this or you don't agree with Actman's position on this, how can anybody seriously sit there and think to themselves, man, he is 100% correct on this one. Good on you for licking those DMs. Leaking those DMs and not omitting that it was Mahler. At the very least, you could have omitted that it was Mahler. But you and your self-centeredness, your narcissistic attitude, because I listened, didn't watch because I was driving on my way to Planet Fitness at the time. I listened to Heel vs. Babyface's video on the situation. You fully did it out of your own narcissism. You fully did it out of your own freaking narcissism. Forgive me for not looking at the camera. This is my lazy eye. I'm using this eye patch to strengthen my eye. So I already look weird in the camera enough as it is. Hopefully I'm actually looking at you guys. But you just did this for your own personal gain. So let's just say I was somebody who fully disagreed with Az. Let's just say I fully disagreed with him, did not think he was correct, thought his whole rant was stupid and ridiculous and all that nonsense. Why in the world would I defend you, Actman? Why in the world would I look at this whole thing from an objective perspective and defend you, Actman? Why would we defend you? Because you were selfish. You called Mahler and were like, hey, I'm gonna leak our private messages. Click. Didn't ask. Didn't even give the courtesy to ask. And that pisses me off. That's happened to me before. It's not a cool thing to do. It's really not a cool thing to do. So, from my perspective, as somebody who's had that done to him before, people you thought you could trust end up stabbing you in the back and leaking those messages. Doesn't matter if it's an extremely personal thing that's going on or something extremely arbitrary and trivial in the grand scheme of life as what you and Mueller were talking about. Doesn't matter. You leak those private messages. You leak those DMs all because you wanted to feel vindicated. That's it. You just did it so you could feel freaking vindicated. And that is a disgusting scumbag thing to do. See, I stopped watching Actman months and months ago. I said it in previous short videos. I am saying it again now. I have stopped watching him a long time ago. Just because his brand of weirdness, I don't even think it was feminism at the time, his brand of weirdness just was starting to get a little odd. I've stated multiple times, I think most of the YouTubers I follow probably lean a little bit left of the political spectrum, and I don't care. But the thing is, they don't try to actively, push it onto people. I think Tamimi made one huge video in regards to Roe versus Wade where she was pissed off that it was overturned. Let it sit for a couple of days and then deleted it. And I respect that. My views don't have to align with somebody to respect them getting their point across and then deleting it. But it's like that Jello Apocalypse situation. You remember a few years ago when Jello Apocalypse made this random get out and vote video, thus alienating half of his audience for no reason. For literally no reason. This is that same kind of feeling, except it's Actman leaking personal DMs of another person simply because you don't like the politics of the silverback gorilla that you're arguing with. And then on top of that, the whole gorilla comment, I understand it was supposed to be an edgy joke. I get that. But you called for violence against heel versus babyface. Could somebody shoot this man this gorilla with a tranquilizer? He's gonna attack someone. I'm gonna be the first one to tell you that his rant was cheesy, it was corny, it was silly, and in my personal opinion, could have gone about it a better way. Could have. I agree with his rant. 100% agree with his rant, but could he have gone about it another way? Sure. Do I understand his annoyance and his anger? Of course I do. We're sick and tired, whether you agree with pronouns or don't agree with pronouns, we as gamers are sick and tired of being preached to in every little video game that we have. Every little video game that we see, there has to be pronouns. The new MLB The Show is inserting women into the game for no reason, and it's not a separate softball mode. No, EA is just allowing women to play in professional baseball. Oh, Lord, man. So, when you become this type of slimeball who puts his morality, who puts his need for self-validation ahead of his morality, that's a big problem. That's a big, massive problem. Because I've done things where I've screwed up in the past, big time, massively screwed up, big time, burnt bridges, screwed up, did all that thing, cooled myself down, took a break, bettered myself, and became a better man because of it. Actman doesn't seem to want to do that. Actman seems to want to be the type of person who puts his career and what can get him the most clicks and the most likes from the most unsavory people ahead of his morals. And that's something I just don't understand, man. I just don't understand. And if he would be upfront and honest about things, I could probably respect that more. But overall, I mean, you've lost all respect. And Tommy C, of course Tommy C's going to interview you. Tommy C's just as much of a content farmer as everyone else, in my personal opinion. Mahler was put in a very odd and awkward position. Heel versus babyface respected Mahler and respected his privacy and not wanting to be made public in this whole situation. Fully respected it. You're the one who didn't respect it. You're the one who chose to put your selfish needs above anybody else's. How can you still have people defending this? Because from what I remember, and my memory's not too stellar, but from what I can remember, the DMs barely had anything to do with heel versus babyface in the first place. Now watch, somebody's going to quote me and comment down below telling me I'm wrong. And I'm willing to admit I'm wrong. If I'm wrong on something, let me know. I'm just saying off the top of my head. Crying like a little baby. Oh, and I am wrong. No, it was mainly about heel versus babyface. But I love that one part where you said that, I'm not gonna record somebody's private conversation. That's just wrong. That's scummy behavior. But you'll leak the DMs of somebody. So if it's in text format, that's okay. But leaking a phone call, that's way above you. That's beneath you. You would never leak a phone call. But private DMs, sure, dude, I'll be happy to do that. The reason I'm pissed off about this is this has happened to me before, and it's aggravating and angering, and it pisses me off that somebody like Mahler, who seems to be a good dude and a good content creator, had to say something about this, had to make a statement, because you know what? He's not somebody who gets into drama in this fashion. So you had to make a statement, and then you have the occasional person victim-blaming Mahler, telling him, oh, you should have just talked to him in private. The whole point of this dang thing was because he leaked private DMs between Mahler and Actman. So why would Mahler talk to Actman about this situation when Actman is the one who leaked the private messages? That makes no freaking sense whatsoever. Idiots. Whatever. I'm done with this. I'm going to go play Paleo. Take care of yourselves. I really do appreciate y'all. Every single one of you. I had to get this off my chest. Obviously, I'm going to speed it up because I want it to be able to be heard for the ADHD people, and I have ADHD. So obviously, it's going to be at 1.5 times speed. Take care of yourselves, and God bless.